Hello friends, in today's video you will learn how to interface switch with your Raspberry Pi. So before starting this video, make sure you should have LED, then switch, then connecting wire, then you should have resistor and Raspberry Pi. So let's see what you will learn in today's video. So once you press the switch, the LED will on, and once you release the switch, then LED will off. First see the hardware connection of our project. So switch has 4 pins, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mainly focus on this side pin or this side pin. I have selected this side pin. One pin is connected to your Raspberry Pi input and another pin is connected to your VCC. So once you press the switch, whatever the power at one side pin, it get transferred to second side because these two pins get shorted. For this project, I have selected 12 number pin from Raspberry Pi for a switch. Then we have LED. LED has a 2 pin, positive and negative. Connect positive pin to the Raspberry Pi output pin. I have selected 11 number pin for LED, and the second pin, which is ground, I have connected to the resistor, and then from resistor I have connected to the Raspberry Pi ground. So indirectly we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pins, in which one pin is used as ground, one pin used as VCC, one pin used for LED output, which is 11 number, and one pin used for switch, which is 12 number. So if you want to create a new program in Raspberry Pi, go to the Raspberry Pi, then programming, and then Python 2. You will see the Python shape, then go to the file, new file. Here you can write your own program. So after you have written your own program, first save your program. Press Ctrl S or go to the file, save. Give the name switch.py as per your reference, then save it. After this we will see one by one line and what is important of each line. So first line is import Raspberry Pi .gpio. So basically if you want to access the GPIO pin of Raspberry Pi, you want to take the first permission from the Raspberry Pi. So to take the first permission from Raspberry Pi, there is GPIO library that you have to import. Then this line is for that, import Raspberry Pi .gpio at GPIO. After that there is a timing library. If you want to give any delay for your program, in between your program, you can use this time library. After that there is gpio.setmode GPIO board. Basically Raspberry Pi works in two modes, in Raspberry Pi board or in BCM. To see the complete details, go to the terminal and type GPIO read all. So after that you will see the physical and BCM. So if you use Raspberry Pi as board, then whatever the pins inside this physical, that you will use, and if you use the .bcm, whatever the pin inside the BCM, that you can use. So let's say in physical we have to use LED pin and a switch pin for GPIO. So you can go to the name column and search for different GPIO pins. Let's say for first GPIO 7. So for the board, this pin acts as a 7 number, and GPIO 0 pin acts as a 11 number. But in case if you give the BCM board, then the GPIO 0 will act as a 17 number. After that there is a one set warning call. So basically it is used when you run your program. Raspberry Pi every time give warning that whatever the GPIO pin you have used, that you have used before. So to avoid that warning, you can set that warning to false. So let's say if I set this warning to true, so what happen I will show you. So first time I will run my program, then second time. So to stop your program, you can press Ctrl C, and at the first line there is one warning, GPIO.set GPIO out. This channel is already in use. So to avoid this warning in your output window, you can set this as false. Then LED pin is defined for 11 number and switch pin defined for 12 number. Why 11 and 12 only? Again go to the terminal and search in physical column 11 12. 11 and 12 number pin is act as GPIO. So that we have used 11 12. You can use 13 and 15 also, but you cannot use 8 and 10 number, because 8 and 10 number uses TX and RX, which is mainly used for the UART communication. After that, you have to set LED pin as output pin. So there is a one setting, GPIO.setup LED pin out, and you have to set switch pin as input. There is again setting, GPIO.setup switch pin input. By default, if you want to set high voltage on that pin, you can pull up that pin, and if you want to set ground voltage on switch pin, you can pull down this. Then there is a while one loop. Inside this I have written 1. The reason behind this 1 is, whatever the code inside this while loop, it will execute infinite number of times. After that, each while loop there is one tab. So this tab specifies that whatever the lines after this while, it is contained inside this while loop. So first thing that we have to check, the switch is pressed or not. So to take the input from your GPIO, there is one function, GPIO.input, and pass switch pin to that input. So when the switch is pressed, it will act as low, and then we check is this output of this function, the function output is low or not. If the function output is low, then we have to glow that LED. Then LED pin high. So to glow that LED, there is one command, GPIO.output. So what does this command work? Actually, when you set any pin as high, then it will generate plus 5 voltage on that pin. So on LED pin, that is 11 number, it will generate plus 5 voltage, so that our LED will glow. And if switch is not pressed or released, then GPIO.output LED pin low. So after low, our switch is off or LED is off, because of this low, ground voltage is generated on LED pin. So if you want to see the indentation error, you can give backspace, remove the backspace and run. So it will give one error that there is indentation block error. So it is very important, after each while loop and if loop, there should be the one tab. So it will identify that the sentence belongs to which loop. If you want to run your program, go to the run and run module. If there is no error, then you will see your output window. So friend, in today's video we have learned how to interface switch with Raspberry Pi. In next video we will see how to interface ultrasonic sensor with Raspberry Pi. So if you like my video, please subscribe and like my channel, and please provide your comment. Thank you for watching.